Both.
Okay, we're
We're
live.
live, Jaimie. I'm going to
Oh my
play the
God.
theme song. Helen, play the theme song.
Helen, roll tape.
She's so late all the time.
It's the show that nobody asked for, the only reason that we shower. If these ovaries could talk is live right now.
Tried to give that
So
one a little.
good.
Tried to get that one a little shoulder shrug there, Jaimie.
So
Little.
good.
I tried.
Welcome to the show that nobody asked for. We're here again.
We are, you guys. We're here.
We just always show up. I don't know if anybody else is going to show up, but we're showing up. If you're here, say hi. Throw some hearts up. I don't know. People say that all the time, but we can't see the hearts, so I don't know why I just said that.
Because I think that's on another social media platform. I don't know.
You can throw hearts up. I think you can
throw hearts up, Jaimie. You throw hearts.
Don't tell me what to do with my heart.
Tell me with hearts.
Who's that hearts?
Oh, God. Well, listen, we are so happy to be here today, but we have to say this is the very first time I'm at a new location. Jaimie's at her technically challenged location, so we're hoping that our internet services work well for this. Everybody, please cross
everything, like my daughter does. Cross. My mom's here. Hi, Mom. Cross all the fingers.
I love how you just stopped mid-sentence. My mom's here. It was we were busted at a college party. My mom's here.
At a college party?
Put your pants down. My mom's here. I don't know what to say.
Oh, I gotcha. That's hilarious. Okay, so here's what's happening. I am trying to put it up, put our live up on the computer so that I can post links of things when we need to post the link. Just letting you guys know that. So we're trying all kinds of stuff today.
We're trying techie things. Yeah, Jaimie's got a two surface thing happening there. But so what
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie. So we have like one topic today, just one that we wanted to talk about, and we just needed to acknowledge up front that there's something a little bit weird. I know weird is the wrong word, but just like we just have to acknowledge we're two white ladies talking about Black Lives Matter. And
I don't think it's weird. I think it's important.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, what I was saying is like, I just like, we're not the experts to be talking about this, but Jaimie and I were having long conversations about how it's impacting us and how we feel, and, you know, like how awful this is for everyone. And we're all sitting in this, and we were like, we have to talk about this and come from a place of where we are. You know, my wife Mary was in a training or a conversation yesterday, and somebody asked the question of like, what can we do in social media? Like, should we be talking about this? Shouldn't we as white people? And the woman said, you should be genuine and come from where you're coming from. And Jaimie and I have been talking a lot about that over the last 2 days. And where we're coming from is, how can we be better parents? How can we teach our children in this time, and how can we be genuine and speak from our heart?
Yeah, it's also, and I think that we might not be experts when it comes to the Black experience, but we are, as white women, experts on accountability for our own selves. So that's something that we can delve into. We can do our best to take total accountability for the work we do to be anti-racists. Now, going forward, should have done more in the past. At least I can speak for myself. I should have done more in the past, but now the fire is ignited, and we cannot let this momentum stop to help affect positive change. And it's hard work, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to take a lot of soul searching on white people's part, myself included. But I'm committed to doing the work.
How can we be allies? Like, you know, and by the way, while we have this conversation, Jaimie's going to be playing some information from, or like a voice memo from somebody that a friend of hers. She also has some resources, and we have some, we posted today about a workshop with, what's it called, Jaimie? The brown bookshelf.
The brown bookshelf.
And they're going to be having tomorrow night at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time. They're going to be having a bunch of people speaking at 7:00. You can bring your kids for them to listen, and then at 7:45 there's a parents conversation. But so we're going to be just like throwing stuff up. But as we're doing that, if you have thoughts or comments about resources, things you're doing, or just like how you're feeling right now, please put them up in the chat. We would love to hear them. It just shouldn't be us talking at you.
I gotta say, yesterday was like a really, really, really rough day for me. I don't know, like it all just got to me yesterday. It was hard. Yesterday was a hard day, and I didn't understand why I was so down. And I really think it's that we're in this pandemic time, so things are all at the forefront. You can't escape the news right now, and you can't escape thinking about the things that are happening, and they're everywhere you look. And this is. If this is an teeny tiny teensy bit of the way Black people have felt for generations, it's awful and things need to change, because I can't. I was so sad yesterday. I didn't even want to wake up. You know how it goes. But
I know. Friday night we woke up. I sleep with earplugs with the air conditioner on, and I woke up. So I heard chanting, and I ran over to the window. I called Mary over, and there was a brigade of police lined in front of our apartment and across the street, and then protesters. And I was so scared. I was like, I was scared of stray bullets. I was scared of the energy and what was happening down there. And I was afraid I was going to see something I couldn't unsee. And it's just, and like you just said, like, that's just me, like a white lady with privilege, like how everyone else has been feeling. I don't know how people have been doing it.
Julie wants to know how we've been talking to our kids about everything. Well, we, like Robin said, Robin and I have been talking about, a really great place for us and our platform to come from is really like talking to, like, dealing with parenting your kids and teaching them to be anti-racist. That's a great place for us to come from as a parenting podcast. So we posted something the other day. I don't remember what we posted. What did we post?
I don't know where you're going. So.
We posted something. Somebody find it for us. But there are so many lists out there for. The post was it's never too early to talk to your kids about racism. And then it was a list of all these different resources. If you go in our feed, you'll find it. It was a list of a bunch of resources you can use to educate your kids on racism. And I also have, I'm going to share it. I have this, I have to say, my organization I work for, it's called the WAG. It's the White Accountability Group. And we've been having a lot of emails and meetings going back and forth. And one of my coworkers, Elizabeth, I call her like my fact encyclopedia. Like literally whenever there's something I need clarification on, I just go to Elizabeth. And I'm like, Elizabeth, remember what they talked about? Can you clarify for that? Can you explain that to those people for me? Because I can't explain it. So Elizabeth, if you're here, you got to say hi. She compiled this crazy long list of resources to better become an anti-racist. A million resources, actions to take, books to read, all kinds of stuff. But here's this one. This is from Books for Life.
God bless you for just rolling right through that while your kids are coming in and jumping on the bed, and then that's a mom right there.
I'm sweating now because I was stressed.
Well,
so I'm going to share this research. It's books for every age group that deal with anti-racism and race and racism and all that stuff. So I'm doing it right now to see if this works. I'm going to share it.
And I would say while she's sharing it, what we're doing today, yay, Jaimie shared it. What we're doing is we immediately used what happened outside of our apartment to start to talk about why folks were so angry and why their outrage and their, like what's happening is justified. And so we started talking about it in the car, and we told them about George Floyd, and that was a very hard conversation. And my son started crying, and he just kept saying, why would someone do that? And today our school shut down in a day for reflection. And so we told the kids they weren't supposed to do any work. So we said, but we wanted them to get up and to write something about their feelings. Like we've talked a lot about our privilege since then around the dinner table, how privileged we are and how different it is than for a lot of people. And so they each wrote something today, and we've been adding to it throughout the day as we talk about it. And I started telling them about we started talking about what it would be like for you if you were the only Black person in a classroom, or in a town. I said, where I grew up, there was one Black family. And what would that be like? And I said, that's probably very similar to you guys as the only kids in the family or in the classroom who have two moms. So when you feel different, I said, but imagine if like as a Black person, you can't hide the fact that you have moms, your skin color. Everyone knows. And that, like, so we've been just having these like ongoing conversations, drawing parallels to being LGBTQ, but also making sure they understand that what we go through is still nothing compared to what they do. And so we just are having them reflect on it, and we're trying to just talk about it throughout the day. And now we're looking for examples.
Yeah.
So that's how.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Robin.
No, please don't.
I also remember Jane Elliott. She was a woman way back. I don't know if it's the 50s or the 60s. She was a third grade teacher, and she did this experiment with her third graders.
Blue eye, brown eye. The blue eye, brown eye.
Yeah, I had Rose watch that yesterday. My 6-year-old. I sat her down and I had her watch it, and I think it made the wheels turn a little bit. A couple times she was like, "I don't want to watch this anymore," but she, she sat through it, and she did ask some interesting questions and poignant questions. And I'm looking for resource. I'm looking for any resources I can find right now to make sure I'm raising a conscious, woke child.
No, and by the way, the first thing you need to talk to your children about is not saying woke, Jaimie. Don't say
woke. I like the word woke. Woke AF. Woke AF. Anyway,
while we're having this serious conversation, we're getting a couple alohas and hellos that we're just throwing up here. The cape is beautiful, Melissa. But we still have not sorted out this like weird sound clackering thing that we're getting, but we're gonna do a test after this tomorrow.
Thanks for sticking with us, guys. But also, so in the midst of all this, I have a really close friend who's Black. And she, years ago, I met her on the ship. So we have a very small little group from the ship that are still really close. And she's in this little group. Years ago on the ship, she had to distance from us. She had I think something happened in the news, and this is my white ignorance, not remembering what it was that happened. But she was so upset by it, and she felt so alone. We're all white, she's Black. That we had a conversation. She said, "Guys, I love you, but I need time." And on a ship, it's really hard to take time away from people. But she took time away from us. She took at least a week away from us. She couldn't talk to us. And we did our best to understand her. And that just happened again. She reached out to us, and she sent this voice memo explaining why she feels like she needs to distance from white folks right now a little bit. So I want to play it for you guys. It was long. I've had to truncate it a bit. It's a little over 3 minutes. So I would love it if you guys all listen, and then we can talk about it. But she had some what?
No, go ahead. I was going to say we could play it on the way out, but you play it now. Whatever you want to do is great.
Let's play it.
Okay.
All right, here it is.
It's a very weird time. All of my white friends have been reaching out to me, and as it's overwhelming I know I keep using that word, but the feelings are both of sadness and, well, not even both. It's sadness and anger, but it's also it's like validation and relief, but more anger, because it's like, well, why does it, not specifically you guys, but why is it taking now for everyone to finally be like, yeah, no shit, this is fucked up, and we really get it now. And at the same time, I get it. It's like everyone's in their house, they're sitting with their own guilt. There's no distractions, there's nowhere to go. It's not like you see it now, or you only see, you can't you're forced to see it, and everyone's forced to deal with everything right now. This is one of the major things that everyone is just kind of forced to deal with right now. And so I get it. And I'm, I guess, grateful, thankful, whatever for it. It sucks, but this is how all shit like this happens. Everyone has to get to their bottom, to their this is my last straw, and this is the last straw for a lot of people. It's just a really weird thing to be at the same time welcome, but angry, but trying not to be angry, because you can't force anyone to see anything before they're able to see it. So I think in terms of what you could do, is I really just urge you, as much as you can, after today and moving forward for forevermore. Amen. Talk about it, post about it, bring it up in like it's part of a regular conversation, so that it can stop being this thing that we like only talk about when something really, really terrible has happened, or it's like taboo to talk about, or if we could just fucking normalize it, right? So that we could be like, no, this shit is not okay, and everyone could agree that it's not okay, and we talk about it enough that like it really truly isn't okay, and not just Black people talking about it's okay. So then the racists can go, see, Black people are trying to start another blah blah blah, like, you know, like we're trying to be polarizing when we're not. We're just trying not to die. Then we could stop this shit. As soon as you see anything, as soon as you hear anything, shut it down. Shut it the fuck down. Like I went through the most uncomfortable time with my family when I was in high school, because my cousin, who is gay but like wasn't out at the time, was like so scared of my aunt because she's super Catholic Christian, and I had to I yelled at all of my aunts like one Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, because they kept saying the word fag, and I was like, hey, this shit is ridiculous, and stop. And it was a whole thing, and my aunts like didn't talk to me for a bunch of months and all this stuff, but I did it because I was just like, that shit was important to me. I went to a fucking performing arts high school. All of my goddamn friends were gay. So like it wasn't a thing that I was about to like, I don't know if I just didn't notice it when I was younger, and I'm sorry this message is so long, but I just like, you know, it wasn't something that I was gonna allow to keep going anymore. And ever since then, not that I think that any of your parents are going around saying like nigger or anything like that at Thanksgiving, but like, you know what you know, and you are all very smart. You know the ways that you can, you know, effectively cause change or cause whatever way that makes sense, because y'all know that also I'm drunk. So, so just know that mostly I'm okay. I just needed some time, and I do love you guys. That's the most important thing.
So that's Allison. I asked her if I could share that, and she said yes, please do. And she says, you know, keep this conversation going. And she did want me to stress that the most important thing is to not just talk about this, but you need to take action. White people need to take action, and we need to keep it up and don't let it die when these things die down.
Yeah.
So,
and AJ's saying that the Amy Cooper, Christian Cooper situation is also very important, because that could have led to another George Floyd moment. And it's important to note that she's a liberal, because bias is not only from the MAGA camp, as many would like to think. And that's very true. It's very true.
So true, AJ. And I think it's just important for us to take accountability.
Hi to my sister.
I can't.
Yes, we all do need to take accountability, and we just have to do better. I mean, I don't know. It's like I keep looking for things that I can do, and so I think that's why Jaimie and I are sharing when we come across things that we can take action. We're going to be sharing them, and that's just going to be part of our ongoing dialogue now, because it matters to our community.
I think it's also important to note that you know, there would be, it's Pride Month right now, but there would be no Pride if Black folks hadn't rioted with us, and they were the ones who started it in many ways. And trans people are still getting targeted. A young trans person died like last week, Tony McDade, and it didn't even get much media, didn't get much attention in the news because this person was trans. So yep. We have to acknowledge. So it is Pride Month. It's a month to celebrate, but we need to acknowledge all these people who fought and are still fighting for equality and do not have it. We have.
I think we need to get back to our roots of what Pride. The last few years, Pride has just been this commercialized. You know, like all of the politicians walking by. There's the Starbucks float, and we need to get back to the roots of fighting a little bit. It's time. So,
agreed.
So we just want to say thank you to everybody for dropping in for this and for being here with us. It's, you know, we just felt like we had to speak up. It's like, this is where we're starting, and that's what we can do.
And I think it's important to note that as white people, we can't be afraid to get messy with these conversations, because that's where growth happens. When sometimes you slip up and you say the wrong thing, and you have white friends or Black friends or brown friends, any kind of friends that are going to hold you accountable. And that's
Yeah,
really important.
just clean it up. Just clean it up. Isn't that what we, Jaimie and I early on in the podcast, we made some mistakes and we just tried to clean it up. You know what I mean? We just like, don't draw attention to it. Don't make the other person feel like it's some horrible thing. It's like if you use the wrong pronoun, just go, oh, I'm sorry. He, and then keep it moving. Like it doesn't need to be some big thing,
Oh my God, Elizabeth is here. My encyclopedia. She's here. She recommends the life and death of Marsha P. Johnson, the transgender activist who led during Stonewall. Of course, Elizabeth knows this. Of course.
Of course she does, Elizabeth.
It's a documentary on Netflix. I haven't watched it, Elizabeth. I'm gonna watch it. She knows everything.
And thank you all for sticking around for this conversation. I'm glad that we were able to do this. Oh yeah.
There's also this. I have this bad habit of just buying things from my feed, like the feed that shows up. I saw these books. It's a whole series of books. A book about racism, a book about all different things. I bought this one, and it's actually a really good buy. It's really straightforward. It's good for my 6-year-old. She gets it. It's easy. She can even read it. And it's just really like, it's a good one. I like this one. And it's just something to add to your own personal library for your kids. Yeah. And here comes my mom. What's my mom say?
Your mom is saying, go ahead.
How systemic racism exists. White people need to realize what is often deep-seated that even liberals don't see. Truth, Mom. Truth.
Mom truths.
Truths.
Thank you everyone so much for coming by. We'll be back on Friday and we will be back to our happy hour brand because that is also important. Yeah, I had a girl. It's also important that we try to find some joy. And so Jaimie and I are going to try to bring the joy, but we'll just be dropping things in as it comes.
Yes. And please share with us. If you know of anything, share it with us. And we are happy to share it along. Somehow we have this platform now and we need to do good things. So I don't know how that happened.
Well, thank you everybody so much. This was wonderful.
Yeah. We love you guys. Stay healthy. Ovaries. She's cut me off. She doesn't want me talking.
I just gave Jaimie the hook. Wait, looks like can I do it across your face? Oh, I wish I could do it across yours. Out.
Thank you. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh.